Hey everyone, and welcome back. Get ready to strap in because the digital currency world is heating up, and Ethereum is leading the charge. This is huge news for anyone watching the crypto markets, and it could mean some truly wild gains are just around the corner. Ethereum is back above $4,000 for the first time since last December. And trust me, this isn't just a small blip on the radar. This is a major turning point that has everyone talking. So, let's talk about what's happening, why it matters, and what could be next for Ethereum and all those other digital currencies you've been hearing about. Ethereum, often called ETH, is the second largest digital currency out there, and it's been on an incredible journey. Just last month, in July, Ethereum surged by over 50%. That's its best month ever, showing just how much energy is building up. Right now, it's trading around $3,950 after briefly hitting that crucial $4,000 mark. Why the sudden excitement? Well, a big part of it comes from major financial players and large investment funds buying up huge amounts of Ethereum. These aren't your average everyday buyers. We're talking big institutions. For example, a market intelligence firm called Glassnode says Ethereum is in a strong buying up phase, which they believe will ignite a massive surge. They even hinted that Friday and Saturday might offer good chances to buy if the price dips slightly. And here's something else that's super exciting. Special funds called Ethereum ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, are seeing massive inflows of cash. These are easy-to-trade funds that let regular investors get exposure to Ethereum through traditional investment accounts. Since they launched in late July, these Ethereum ETFs have brought in nearly $10 billion. To put that in perspective, when you adjust for how big Ethereum's market is compared to Bitcoin's, Ethereum is actually attracting nearly as much interest from these big institutions as Bitcoin did when its ETFs launched. That's a powerful sign. There's a reason why these big players are flocking to Ethereum. Unlike Bitcoin, which many see as digital gold, a store of value, Ethereum can be thought of as a productive asset. It offers a way to earn rewards by participating in its network, and its design means that some of the fees from transactions are actually burned, reducing the total supply as more people use it. Plus, it supports a whole world of real-world uses, like stable digital money, advanced financial apps, and even new kinds of online applications. For traditional investors, this makes Ethereum much easier to understand and value, almost like a busy payment network or a toll road where value grows with more traffic. This is a much clearer story for them, focused on returns and usage. And get this, a massive development just happened that could bring even more money into digital currencies. President Trump recently signed an executive order that allows cryptocurrencies to be included in 401k retirement plans. We're talking trillions of dollars in retirement savings in the US. Even if just a tiny percentage of that money flows into digital assets, it could mean tens of billions of dollars rushing into the market. This move is seen as a huge step towards cryptocurrencies becoming truly mainstream and widely accepted. Now, why is Ethereum's rise so important for other digital currencies, often called altcoins? Here's the kicker. Ethereum's strength is often seen as the spark that lights up the broader altcoin market. When Ethereum warms up, it creates an environment where other promising digital tokens can really take off. One analyst, Michel van de Poppe, is even predicting a 200 to 500% surge for altcoins in the next 2 to 4 months. Imagine that. This shift is already visible in what traders call the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. This measures Ethereum's strength compared to Bitcoin. This ratio has climbed about 38% over the past month. A rising ratio usually means that investors are becoming more interested in other digital currencies beyond Bitcoin, showing a growing appetite for more speculative assets. And when Ethereum leads, history shows that smaller digital currencies tend to follow with even bigger moves. But where does Ethereum go from here? The 4,000 level has been a tough barrier for Ethereum to break and hold consistently. It's a key psychological mark. However, there's a strong belief that once it breaks decisively above $4,000, things could get really wild. Why? Because if Ethereum pushes past that mark, hundreds of millions of dollars in short bets, that's money placed on the price going down, could instantly get wiped out. This forces those who bet against Ethereum to buy it back, which creates a massive upward spiral, often called a short squeeze. That kind of sudden buying pressure could send Ethereum skyrocketing. There's also a fascinating signal from the options market. Some market makers, who are big players providing liquidity, have what's called negative gamma exposure between $4,000 and $4,400. This means that as Ethereum's price rises in that range, these market makers are actually forced to buy more Ethereum to balance their books. This creates a powerful self-reinforcing cycle that could rapidly push the price up to $4,400. In fact, some experts are calling $4,400 a price magnet for this rally. And looking further out, some bold predictions are floating around, with some experts even projecting that Ethereum could hit $5,000 or even $7,000 or more in the long run. Public transaction records show that large institutional buyers have been accumulating hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Ethereum, and that more than 15% of all Ethereum available is now earning rewards by being staked on the network. These are strong signs of confidence and long-term holding. Now, while all this sounds incredibly exciting, it's important to keep a cool head and understand the full picture. Not everyone is jumping for joy just yet. Some analysts point out that the third quarter of the year, which includes August and September, has historically been a weaker period for Ethereum. On average, Ethereum has only seen about a 6.5% return during this quarter since 2016. So, if this trend is broken, it could be a powerful signal that we're in a totally different kind of market cycle. Another thing to keep in mind is what happens with those big institutional funds. The speed at which companies are buying and holding Ethereum could slow down. If the money flowing into those Ethereum ETFs starts to dwindle or even reverses, it could cause the price momentum to stall. However, with the recent executive order allowing crypto and 401ks, many believe that this kind of bottleneck is unlikely at a broad market level, at least for now. The 4,000 level isn't just a technical point, it's also tied to how big financial players are betting. Some financial firms are betting against Ethereum, trying to keep its price below $4,000. They make money on special contracts if the price stays below that level. So every time Ethereum gets close to $4,000, you often see a sharp drop as these players try to keep their bets profitable. But, as one expert put it, the more times Ethereum approaches $4,000, the higher the chances are that it will finally break through. And if it does and clears those levels in the early $4,000, it could truly fly. It's also worth noting that Ethereum is a digital currency that tends to move a lot, and it's sensitive to market flow. The funding rates on exchanges, a fee paid between traders that shows overall market sentiment, have risen significantly, showing that many people are betting on price increases. While this doesn't necessarily mean a top, it does mean the market is a bit crowded with bullish bets. It's always smart to be patient and wait for clearer buying signals, like if the funding rate turns negative or if other chart patterns show clear buying opportunities. Remember, the digital currency world has endless opportunities, so there's no need to rush into anything. So, there you have it. Ethereum is at a fascinating point with strong institutional support, major policy changes, and the potential to ignite a massive rally across the entire altcoin market. But remember, the digital currency space can be wild and prices can move fast. Always do your own research or understand the risks before making any decisions. If you found this breakdown helpful and you're excited about what's next for Ethereum and the crypto world, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more market updates, and hit that bell icon so you never miss out on our latest insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.